to be aware
This meeting
inside
is
of
being
us
recorded.
that what we have, when we give thanks, actually, technically, even spiritually, what happens is we are multiplying the things what we have. That's one of the powerful tool. The more you see the things what you have in your life and you're grateful for that with the feeling, with the heartful gratitude, those things are going to multiply. Those things cannot be the same. It has to increase because whatever things that you see in your mind, and when you feel that with a sense of gratitude and thankfulness and praiseworthy, that is a principle, a law, a spiritual law as well, that it gets multiplied. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. Yeah, it's true. That's where basically when you focus gratitude, it will multiply what you have, and that puts you into different vibration. Have a goal and work towards the life goal, and also set many clear goals so that you can check mark after completion of that goals. Because having a larger goal is good, but you need to have something smaller also, like a weekly goal or a monthly goal where you achieve something, and so that it will lead to a bigger goal. And every goal should have a plan and action to support that goal. And when plans can change, if basically if you get any roadblocks or anything, but try to keep the goal as it is and try to change the plan and work towards your goal with actionable items. How much you have knowledge or anything in the life, but if you don't take an action, it is useless, because without action, nothing worthful will be achieved. Basically, action is most important factor in the goal achievement process. People don't fail because they lack ambition. They fail because they lack clarity. Winners break their big dreams into small, measurable steps. Ask yourself each morning, what is one action I can take today that brings me closer to my goal? And clarity brings confidence. Confidence drives action. I also heard in a couple of areas that if you have a couple of action steps to take a daily, take the one which is which which gives you the most results, or something called eat the frog. There is something called eat the frog. Basically, what the meaning is, in the beginning of the day, when you can eat the ugly frog. Generally, frog people will think eating a frog is like ugly. If you can complete that, so that rest of the action items, rest of the tasks, you can do it very easily. Means like it says that most toughest job, or most you think it's not, you are not willing to do it, or if you can do that thing, and your day will be more fruitful, and you get more fruitful results. That is one thing I can say. And clarity brings confidence, and clarity is the goal. And when you have a clear goal, it brings confidence in you, and confidence drives action. And if you do not have a goal at all, and you do not know where to go, because if there is a ship in the shipyard, and if it doesn't needs to go, it doesn't have any direction, or it doesn't know where to go, then start the engine and leave it. It cannot go to anywhere, basically, other than landing somewhere in the desert land or somewhere. It goes, or maybe it goes to some shore, or it goes to some sides, it will struck, or it will hit something in the middle. That's why you need to have a goal so that you can get what you want in the life. Any thoughts, Stephen?
Yeah, wonderful example that was. People
Mm.
don't fail because they lack ambition. They fail because they lack clarity. That's a wonderful thing. So that's what, in other words, what I can say is, people fail first. They fail inwardly. Inwardly, in the sense, they fail first in their mind. Actually, when there is confusion, when there is no clarity, that's where we are not able to see things outside clearly. So the failure happens inside before it happens outside. So in order to bring that clarity, that's where we work on. We work on setting the mini goals, the small goals that is actionable, and that is bringing some small results. So when we, as an example, what I could say right now is, when we climb up the stairs, right? We don't jump straight onto the top step, right? Step by step we climb and then reach to the top of that floor, right? So each step is so important to reach to the top stair, to the top floor. So in that manner, when we think, each small step is an important step. It's a worthful step. It's a valuable step that you take in your life towards that goal. No matter how big it is, the goal, no matter how big the goal is, each and every step that we take, the small steps that we take, it is countable. It is notable. It is worthy to take those small steps. And when we take the small steps, sometimes you might not know the clear picture of the entire roadmap, of the entire vision, how we are going to move. But as we take small steps, we will come to know where we are. The further we do on a consistent and a disciplined way, there will be a time that we'll be starting to see like what we need to be doing the next steps. Sometimes we think, if we take on the small steps, sometimes some people may feel um, disappointed by taking small steps. I'm not able to take the other steps. I don't know what the next steps that I need to be doing. Like that they think. But as we do it, even the whole universe works for us on our behalf to make sure that we see what are the next steps that we do. See, as we drive a car, only a small amount of, I mean, the small distance we can see. And as we go further, the next distance we see, right? In the same way, as we take small steps, we keep on seeing the next small steps, what we can do to achieve the bigger goals. So that's what I feel like
Yeah,
saying.
thank you, Stephen. It's very well explained. Yeah, it's very elaborate and in depth, and thank you for that. And another thing is like, take 100% responsibility. If as long as you are not taking 100% responsibility in all the things in your life, you will not be growing much. Once you take 100% responsibility, it gives you immense confidence and immense strength, uh, and in yourself, that you can do attitude. Basically, no blaming anybody and any circumstances or anything. Just take 100% responsibility, everything what happens in your life. That will put you into different frequency altogether, and you are going to be looking for answers for the things. You will be working towards solutions rather than the blaming. When you start blaming, you don't work for solutions. Basically, you are entirely, your mind is in the negative mode of operation. When you take responsibility, it puts you into positive vibration, and it basically thinks more of a, how can I do this? how can I do this? Basically, you will look into the possible solutions to solve the challenge in front of you, what you have. That's where the 100% responsibility comes into picture. And it's very important point in doing the things everyday life. Taking responsibility is the mark of true leadership and the foundation of winning mindset. When you blame circumstances or people, you give away your power. When you take responsibility, you reclaim control. The moment you accept responsibility, you gain the power to change anything. Focus on what you can do, not what you cannot control. I think this basically says that when you accept the responsibility, you gain the power to change anything. Means your focus will shift to the solution side rather than just saying that I am not responsible, you are responsible, or blaming somebody else and thinking about that. The person who blames will not achieve much in the life because they may not be the true leaders. The true leaders will be in different perspective altogether. That is the mindset. Basically, the winning mindset is like taking 100% responsibility. Any thoughts, Stephen?
Yeah. This, as you said, taking responsibility, this mindset of a leader. So responsibility, the word responsibility itself, it says when we split, no, it says the ability to respond. Response plus ability, that is responsibility. So every time when there is a difference between to respond and react. I say the react where it comes is when you blame circumstances of people. That's where we are becoming reactive to the people or circumstances. So what happens is we are at the time, what we do is when we react, we are speaking emotionally. We are not thinking and speaking. There is a part of our brain as well. There is an um, emotional part of our brain, no, that gets triggered, and we immediately react to the circumstances without even thinking, like anger or frustration or irritation, whatever it is. So that's where when we stop that, when we in opposite, when we respond to circumstances, we are not responding emotionally. We are activating the front part of the brain that is called the front part. They call in science terms, they call it something. I'm not remembering now, but that is the part that gets activated, where that is the thinking brain. Okay, that gets activated when we respond. And the way we respond is, before responding, we have to be in control. In the sense, we have to control ourselves. When we are controlled inside, that's where we can control the situation outside. When a person reacts, he's not in control, he's already out of control. And that makes the problems worse. That's where this sentence comes: when you blame circumstance or people, you give away your power. Why will you give away your power? Because you are not in power. You're out of control, that you're making the situation worse. But when we respond, we are in control. We are calm and stable at that moment, because we are in control of our power. We create power and we give power to the situation. The way we create power is, we create a solution by thinking in a calm state or in a stable state, knowing that's our identity. And when we respond to the situation, right, that's where we think and speak. That is creating power. And when we speak, that is giving power. So when we create power and then give power, actually that is what we do to think and live, and to think and grow rich as well. Thinking is power, actually. So whenever we react, we are not thinking. We are just taking on the situation or circumstance and just reflecting back. So when we think and speak, that's where the power comes out of us. So we think in our mind, in a controlled way, in a calm, relaxed way. That's where the identity becomes a powerful thing. Who we are, who am I? The identity, when a person knows his identity, um, from that identity, that's why it's so important to know who am I, as we saw that last sessions, I think so. Yeah, that's what I just wanted to say. When we
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. Hanuman, do you have any thoughts? Okay.
Nothing, sir.
Yeah, you have any questions on this in this particular slide? Because Stephen is also there and we can elaborate more on it.
And by the way, Hanuman, are you understanding what we both are speaking? What Aswath is they are telling and what I am telling? You're able to understand?
Little bit, sir. Not much more.
Mm-hmm. You can tell where you're not able to understand so that we can simplify it and explain. Okay.
Hanuman, these daily habits are very important. Basically, if you can handle these daily habits, much of the life is taken care of itself. Basically, these are the daily practices what we gear towards, and which will put you into different frame of mind and different frequency, and the way you look at things will change entirely different if you have command on these daily habits. That's why we want to emphasize our focus more on these points, because these are the life-changing habits that I can say that if we can adopt these things, it will entirely put you in a different frame of mind, different frequency, and the way you achieve things also very different. Means like the life entirely changes to the previous to these daily habits and after adopting these daily habits. Commit to continuous learning. It's what I heard is if you spend every day 1 hour, and within 5 years, you will be the top among in your field. Means you will achieve the top 5% level in any field you are in. Means like that 1 hour every day for 5 years take you to the top level, top 5% people in your chosen field. That much power this continuous learning has. Because you learn and every day it will compound, and if you apply what you learn, will put you into a different frame of things. And this lot of learning power, basically people think that once we graduated from the college, then lot of people do not touch the book. But in IT is a little bit different, because if you are not touching the book and if you are not reading, you're out of job very soon. But other areas is not like that, because a lot of people doesn't even take book once they complete the bachelor's degree or master's degree, whatever it is. But if you want to achieve the top 5% people to belong to 5% of the people in your field, you have to at least spend 1 hour every day. That will help you to grow into a top 5% level. Learning is not an event, it is a habit. Growth does not happen automatically. It happens intentionally. Make this a 10-minute daily ritual. Read, listen, observe, and practice a skill that what you learn. Small learning deposits create large returns over time. think, yeah, this is the habit. Basically, we have to cultivate this habit. Those who read books, basically, they go to the top in what they are reading or what they are practicing. And so you can see a doctors or lawyers, they keep reading the things and they keep going to the cases, they keep read everything. They practice at most with clarity. And same should be good for any other field also. It's not like, but they do more of reading and all those things because they need to be updated with latest what is going on in the lawyers, what is going on with sections and all those things. And that's how the same should apply to everybody. Any thoughts, Stephen? Or?
Yeah, it's quite straightforward, as you said. Thing continuous learning. It's yeah. Uh, if we don't upgrade our mind, obviously we fall behind without we realizing, right? As I said, it's and another thing is when we invest time in reading, we make better decisions because our thinking gets evolved, even our thinking pattern changes the more we learn, the more we adapt. Even the neuroscience tells, right? Even the more we learn new things every single day, the neurons gets activated in our brain. I mean, even the thinking pattern also gets changed, and that's where you keep on upgrading and you move faster. It's about you become more sharper and more effective over the period of time. So, yeah, to stay in a learning in a disciplined way is being dangerous. Yeah, it's being dangerous to, um, in the sense, in a positive way. Yeah.
I think when you learn something or when you think about something, it creates a neural pathways. When you focus
Correct.
on the same thing, it creates a long thread. The same way how you learn to tie the shoes or how you learn to brush the teeth. Basically, the neural pathway will be created to that particular habit or that particular thing, so that you basically accustomed to do with ease, basically without putting much effort. Basically, the unconscious competence or something like that. Choose your environment wisely. This is also one of the important things because it determines where you are. And if you take 5 of your friends, it will basically puts you among the 5 of your friends. It means that your environment dictates. Whatever you are in the right environment, then you go into that frame. Once you go into one environment, it will basically change according to that environment. A lot of people be mingled with